Coach, first off, you were picked second in the preseason poll. You got 4 first-place votes, just behind Indy and in front of Rockhurst. After being the co-regular season champion last year with Indy, what kind of mindset does the team have going into the season?
Well, obviously the preseason poll, that's, a nice reflection being voted second of kind of where my coaching peers kind of see the team. And sees the team as a very good team. I think definitely a team that is going to be competing hopefully for, national tournament selection, GLVC regular season championships, and hopefully, conference tournament championship too. Would we prefer to be number one? Absolutely. I think for my money that we've got everything that it takes, and I think that we've got the ability to end the season as number one. And really, that's the only poll or the only standing that really matters is what you earn via the results. The coaching poll, it's more just a shot in the dark from everybody's perspective put together. It's not gonna earn you a trophy. So we're more focused on doing the job on the field and doing earning the results to meet our ultimate goals.
Thanks. Kind of touching on last year, just mentioned you were the co-regular season champions. You returned 8 starters from that squad. What kind of leadership does that bring back for you guys, and what kind of, basically what kind of leadership do you guys have on the field? And the expectations from last year got to be pretty high. So where are they looking to lead your team this year?
Well, obviously with having a heavy returning group, that's a huge advantage for us. And not even just last year, but even 2 years and 3 years, we've got a lot of guys who have been, full-time starters for this 3rd or 4th season for us. And so they've been through the battles. They know what it's like to compete day in, day out in the GLVC. And, we can talk about it and we can try to replicate it in training and whatnot, but there's no substitute for our guys or any team, the guys who have been through the battles week in, week out and know how difficult this league is. And so our guys, they have that under their belt, and they shouldn't be caught by surprise by anything that's going to happen here once we start the GLVC season.
And speaking of the leadership, you have a ton of guys on your roster as well who are pretty young. There's a lot of young talent on a team. We saw through the preseason games a lot of players getting in and making a big impact. With that young talent in practice, what does that bring? With your leadership, with your seniors, and then also with the young talent that you have on your roster.
Well, it's probably the deepest team that I've been a part of since I've been here. A lot of depth, a lot of quality. There's not much drop off in the level. Once we start substituting, 30 minutes into the game or whatever it is, it makes it a very competitive training situation. There's a lot of guys who, to be fair, are good enough to play at this level in the roster, but you can only put 11 on the field, 10 outfield players and 1 goalkeeper. So everybody's got to show up every day and work hard and try to earn whatever playing time they're going to get. And for me as a coach, that's a huge advantage. That's a massive motivator. Nobody on this team can sit satisfied because they all know that there's good players who are around them that are all, if they're already in the starting 11, there's somebody below them that is just behind them knocking on that door, or if they're just in the second group, maybe they're number 12, 13, 14 in the depth chart. The guys at 15, 16, 17 are coming up behind them trying to take their spot. So it's a very competitive situation. From a coaching staff perspective, this was a goal of ours, was try to make the roster as deep as possible, and I think we're making progress in that way.
Touching a little bit on last year, you had a high-octane offense, led the conference in goals, 50 goals last season. This preseason, you came out 12 goals to 2 goals in 3 preseason games. What will be the pace of play this year? What can we expect from the Hawks offensively?
Well, we've got the potential to score goals. I mean, we have the individual talent across the field. Basically, I feel like in every position where we can be very dangerous in attack. You know, our personal focus, especially in the preseason, has been a little bit more defensive. We gave up more goals last year than what we would like to give up. So we're trying to really buckle down on that a little bit. You know, there's several things that we're keyed in on, but overall we're just trying to make sure that the team's a little bit better defensively. We don't give up as many goals. And at the same time, we still want to be just as explosive and dangerous going forward. And you know, if we can cut down the number of goals that we allow, and then if we still maintain or even build on the number of goals that we scored last year, we'll be in a very good spot come the first week of November.
Right. And Coach, give us one word that describes the Quincy University Hawks soccer team for 2014, and just kind of elaborate on it for us.
If I had to pick one, I'd say potential. There's just a lot of potential in the group. There's a lot of potential individually, and then there's a lot of potential when you put those individuals together. It could be a very, very good season. You know, maybe one of the better ones that this program's had if we reach our potential. You know, potential's great on paper, but if you don't utilize it and do the job and win the games, then you're wasting it. So that's kind of our challenge. We've put ourselves in a position where we have a lot to work with, but now we have to be committed to using that potential and getting everything out of the season that we can get.